let's talk about motivation and what it means to me and how you can use this to build your business to heights that you never thought were possible. And also how you can use it just to stay into a business that you think that you're failing at. Now, when we talk about motivation, it's a difficult topic because people are motivated by many, many different things. When we bring new agents on, I always ask them what their why is. And I know that you may have heard that millions of times before, and you may think that it's, not necessary or something that you shouldn't point to. And at points, you might be right, that your why may not be enough, and that just motivation alone may not be enough, which is why we'll talk about discipline as well, which I think is more important than motivation. But most, agents, when they first get into this business, they like a couple different things. One is the freedom. You run your own business. Nobody's telling you what to do or how to do it. We'll tell you how we do things and what we do that's successful, but we're not going to make you do anything. So this requires a lot of motivation in the beginning and then discipline after that motivation kind of goes away. Because with anything, you're going to get tired of it. Even if you love something and you do it for your job, it's going to become, tiresome. There's things about it that you're not going to like. Even if you like 90% of it, there's 10% of it that you're not going to like. So to stay motivated, you want to think about your why. And if your why is freedom, you have to recognize that you have that each and every day. Sometimes you can become complacent and thinking, I should just go trade my time for money again. And that's great. And some people really strive at doing that. And some people want to own their own business and make their own money. And that's what we do as insurance agents. I've talked before in past videos about my physical injuries and how they've helped motivate me to acquire my goals in life. If you didn't see that video, I talked about how when I was about 21 years old and having my first child, I also had back surgery from doing hardwood flooring and had to relearn how to walk again. It took me about 12 months to get back to where I was before. Changed my career trajectory, got me into insurance, oddly enough, and helped me in realizing what I'd have to do once I eventually started my own business about 8 years after that. When we're physically hurt, it's a little bit easier than when we're mentally trying to get over something. And it's not that it's not a mental challenge. It's just that when you're physically hurt, they give you a way to fix yourself or to get as well as you can based on your injury. So there's a roadmap. There's a way to get to that place. And that's what we try to give our agents in the mental space, a roadmap. Show that we've been through this before. There's other agents that have been through this before, and they have succeeded, but only because they kept trying. This is a unique position that you don't have a job each day. You have to go out and find one, and you have to do that by marketing yourself. And some people get beat down by the rejection. And that's why we say when you're first coming on, your goal is to get to 100 rejections. Because I want you to think of rejection as part of the process. You can give a perfect presentation. You can be on all your P's and Q's. You can know every answer to every question and still not get the sale. It's just how it is. You can also not know much about the plan. Walk in, sit down for 2 minutes, and get a sale. It all just depends. So you cannot be too wrapped up in the results in the beginning. Now, if you get to that 100 rejections and you've gotten no yeses, then we need to change something about what you're doing to make you better. You also need to be coachable. Some people are just too stubborn. Some people will never get to the place where they can take someone else's advice that's even been successful doing what they do. And again, it's just advice. Again, we never tell anybody just this is what you have to do. We say, again, this is what we do. This is what's been successful. And you have to redefine success as well. If you think that you're going to send out a mailer get back, a 7% response rate and then sign up 50% of those people, those are great numbers. That'd be great if that happened, but it's most likely not. Everything works, and it depends on the market that you're in. It just works, slimly. My goal is, when I do a marketing campaign, is just to make my money back, right? We work off the power of residual income. So if I'm able to make my money back and maybe a little bit more up the first year, great. Second year, that's all profit now. So my mindset is just to build that number as high as it possibly can go, and to retain and also replace and make new business. Now, motivation, though, can only take you so far. There's going to be days that you wake up and you don't care, that you don't want to do things. And since you work for yourself, you can go ahead and take that entire day off if you want. But if you have discipline, that does not require motivation. Okay? My discipline will still allow me to get up every Monday morning and make all of these videos, right? Even if I don't want to do it that day, even if I'm struggling to come up with a topic, my discipline, not my motivation, will make me do it. I also like to try as much as possible to not break a promise to myself. If I made a contract with me, then I need to honor that contract. Because if I can't honor something that I wanted to do, how am I going to honor something that somebody else wants me to do? Now, you have to give yourself grace, room to fail, room to be rejected. But as long as you can get up again and put your foot in front of the other, then you're good to go. And sometimes you're not going to have the motivation to do that. And that's where the discipline comes in. And I was bad at this at first. I didn't, I liked my freedom and to not have something scheduled every day, or to not be as organized as I am. But I realized that that was kind of a trap, because then I would be overwhelmed by the things that didn't get done. And the more discipline I have, the more motivation can kind of come back for me, or that I didn't need to rely on it in the first place. That I have a schedule. I know what I'm going to do. If something gets in the way of that schedule, that's okay as well. If that is prioritized as more important, then go ahead and do that first. And then let's do the thing that we still needed to do, even if it's 8 o'clock at night that night. It can be difficult, but having a good team around you and having that roadmap again, somebody that's done it already, and a way to get to the place that you want to get to, if you're willing to listen and if you're willing to have discipline, then the sky is the limit in this industry. It can still be difficult. It's not going to be easy. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done in your life. But what if I were to tell you that if you gave me 5 years of your life, let's say you're 35 years old right now, you're 28 years old right now, and you gave me 5 years of your life, so by the time you're 40, by the time you're 36, that you'll make $120,000 before you walk out of your door to do anything else, would you give me that time? Would you give me the full 5 years? If at the end of the second year, you only had 100 sales and you're only making about $40,000 a year, which is a lot more when you work for yourself, right? A lot of expenses that you have and tax things that make that $40,000 more than if you were just working for an employer. But if that's the case, are you still willing to go the 5 years? How about the other way? Let's say you have 2 years and now you're up to 500 sales, right? You're making a really good amount of money before you leave your door the next day, about $200,000. Are you still going to be as motivated or disciplined for the next 3 years to get to where you said you were going to go with me? It can be difficult on both sides if you're too successful or you're not successful enough. So motivation can take you a long way. You have to find the things that motivate you. If it's money, if it's success, if it's just time with your family, if it's freedom, the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and be there for the people that need you. Also the freedom to know that no one can ever fire you. This world right now is very interesting with the amount of things that are taking place in the workforce. With the recession looming, layoffs happening all over the place, AI coming to take our jobs. Now more than ever, I think, is the best time to invest into yourself. There's nobody that can fire me. There's nobody that can say you're done in this industry. As long as I do what I know I need to do, I'm good. And you can be too. But you have to have the discipline. Use everything you can to motivate yourself. And when the motivation goes away, the discipline takes its place. For Vista Mutual Insurance Services, I'm Joe Valenzuela. Join us next time. Please comment, like, and share this video. Thank you from Vista Mutual Insurance Services.